Well, I kind of want to hear about the like pressures of masculinity because I feel like with all the expectations that I think are placed on men, like how does that affect you in your personal life? Like how do you feel it?
So one word would be anxiety, and this might be more associated with just me myself, being
Mhm.
that my background has, I just started experiencing what I would call true anxiety since
Mhm.
2020 when I went to
Mhm.
Alaska, and
Okay.
experiencing that winter, it sent me off a deep end.
Wow.
So I'm currently on medication, and it's kind of leveled
Okay.
me out. It's kind of turned
Okay.
this a bit down because
Okay.
this runs wild, and I
Mhm.
love my mind, but
Mhm.
when it's attacking me,
Mhm.
it's powerful.
Yeah.
And so anxiety will be one thing. Kevin Samuels with all the high value man stuff, and like a person like myself, we just start keeping score. I'm like, all right,
Mhm.
so I'm 29. I should have 3 times
Mhm.
my age and income.
Mhm.
Nope. I'm supposed to be a certain height. Got lucky on that one. I can't change that anyway. My
Mhm.
weight, I should have a 6 pack. Nope.
Mhm.
You start just checking off the checklist. You
Mhm.
go to Fresh and Fit, and they say, bro, you need to have this, and this, and you had a fancy car. Andrew Tate says, bro, you got to have a Bugatti. And they're not exactly telling you, but they're telling you what women want.
Mhm.
And of course, most people are kind of assuming that it's true
Yeah.
because these people have it. And so
Mhm.
you're not sure, did they have it already, then they got women, or did they
Mhm.
get it first, then the
Mhm.
women came?
Mhm.
You just don't know. And so there's a lot of assumption built into how you treat yourself.
Yeah.
And so the one word would be anxiety, as far as you don't know what path to take. You just know, I need to make money. I need to be in
Mhm.
shape. I need to be an intellectual. So I need to read books. I need
Mhm.
to make proper decisions because I have to
Mhm.
avoid the law because I'm already oppressed and disadvantaged. So I have to color in the lines
Yeah.
nonstop. I have
Mhm.
to be a bad boy to women
Mhm.
because that's what women are choosing. And that's
Mhm.
what Fresh and Fits are saying that women are choosing. But
Mhm.
then you observe women choosing it, and then I can't be a nice guy because I'll be Russell Wilson, but then I don't have
Mhm.
$50 million, so I need the money too.
Mhm.
And it's a constant circling of how do I just be what people want me to be? Because men are typically judged by what we are, not who we are.
Mhm.
So we have to project something that the market wants.
Mhm.
And so one word would be anxiety, as far as I don't try to be masculine.
Mhm.
I just am. Like, I
Mhm.
don't try to have wide shoulders and a chest and facial hair.
Mhm.
Those things come when I wake up. When I go to the
Mhm.
gym, I don't try to
Mhm.
be strong.
Mhm.
I pick the weight up that I can lift,
Mhm.
and it happens to be more than the average woman can lift.
Mhm.
When I walk in and I'm towering over people, and like it's normal for me.
Mhm.
So I don't try to be masculine.
Mhm.
But when I hear, and most men, when they hear like toxic masculinity, like what you are normally, a lot of it's wrong. I'm like, men need to be more
Mhm.
feminine. We need to be more emotional. We need to be more in touch with our feminine side. I'm like, nothing. And this is what I always proclaim from the rooftops:
Mhm.
men are not wrong. Period.
Mhm.
Men, to be a man is not wrong.
Mhm.
Our decisions can be right or wrong relative
Mhm.
to the standards set in place in a given society.
Mhm.
So when I hear like topics, and again, it's the loud voices, it's the
Yeah.
the radical feminists
Mhm.
saying, "Oh, this and this." It's not all women, and
Mhm.
you've said this in multiple of your videos about how we will demonize an entire demographic and say all women are out to get you, all women want to take you to court, all women are trying to have your baby and run, all
Mhm.
women. I'm like, it's not true, because if it were true, then all men would, whatever they're saying about all men would be true. All
Mhm.
men are just trying to sleep with you and run. All
Mhm.
men are trying to knock you up. All men are trying to waste your time and be toxic.
Mhm.
We can't demonize both demographics with all the rhetoric.
Yeah.
And so there is pressure to
Mhm.
perform, but it's normal pressure,
Okay.
because I don't wake up and come on here and like try to be intellectual. This is how
Mhm.
I talk normally.
Yeah.
And some people get annoyed by it. And like you
Mhm.
said, if it's not working out with this dynamic, I'll go talk to YouTube for two
Mhm.
hours, get
Mhm.
off my chest, and then go about my
Yeah.
day.
Mhm.
So there is pressure, but it's normalized, because
Okay.
when you're born as a man and you live as a man, you just know there's certain pressures, and you see this with women that transition to men.
Mhm.
They immediately, like, when the average woman being short, I watch a ton of videos on height dysphoria,
Mhm.
and women will come over from being a woman and being a man, and they're like, well, it seems like everybody wants a tall man. I'm 5'2",
Mhm.
and they immediately feel the pressure of being a man now because the rules are different.
Mhm.
And as much as we're trying to blur the lines and make everything fluid, there's certain things that there's men are supposed to provide,
Mhm.
supposed to protect. You're
Mhm.
supposed to be tall. You're supposed to be macho. You're supposed to be handsome. You're supposed to be successful.
Mhm.
Women are supposed to be soft and feminine and beautiful, and makeup,
Mhm.
and smell good and cook and all these things. And so when we change teams, you're immediately going to feel the pressure of that other side of like
Yeah.
men that transition to women are trying to pass as
Mhm.
women. They're trying to
Mhm.
put cake on makeup and they're putting on more and more makeup to try to look like a woman and try to
Yeah.
look feminine. And
Mhm.
women that transition to become men, they're trying to be tall and masculine and grow facial
Mhm.
hair and all these stereotypical things that we're trying to do away with. And
Mhm.
yet these people are they're trying to raise the level of it so they
Mhm.
can pass as what they're supposed to be.
Mhm.
So the pressure is ever existing. I feel
Mhm.
it every single day. That's why I'm doing a live stream right now. Is like I know I
Mhm.
need to be doing something productive, even
Mhm.
if I don't see there's one person watching right now.
Mhm.
I'm supposed to do this. This is
Yeah.
this is normal. I'm
Mhm.
used to failing at a
Mhm.
live stream where one or two people watched. We had a
Mhm.
max of I think 3 or 4 people watching.
Mhm.
I'm supposed to do this. And
Mhm.
so if this is something I want to do, I have to do this every single day. And
Yeah.
I fail this often. There's some
Mhm.
days where, and honestly, it's relative to my medication and my diet.
Mhm.
I'm like maybe a week into my diet again because I keep
Mhm.
failing at it and I just keep getting back on force. Start over on Monday. And I
Mhm.
feel the pressure of, right, you got to pick a struggle. You
Mhm.
can't be broke, overweight, ugly, dusty, and unsuccessful on TikTok. Pick one.
Mhm.
So you go to the gym, you do your live stream, you post your
Mhm.
clips, you post your TikToks,
Mhm.
you do it. You keep
Mhm.
doing it, and it's a never ending cycle of you check the scoreboard. Nope, nobody loves me. Keep going, keep going, keep
Mhm.
going. And
Mhm.
so it's a never ending cycle. But luckily, we do have wins along the way, and women come
Okay.
along and like, oh, I saw your other channel. You have 12,000 subscribers. Can I kiss your mouth? I'm like, yes, you
That is
may. And
hilarious.
we take our rewards as we
Mhm.
get them, and then
Mhm.
we put away a little bit for winter, and then we keep
Mhm.
going. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's the normal path of a man, but masculinity, it's hard to figure out. It's hard to nail down, as a lot of the topics that we've discussed. It's
Mhm.
kind of hard to kind of express it in words.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like you said, it's is masculinity is just kind of who you are in a way.
Yeah.
So it's like you have the facial hair, you are
Mm-hmm.
tall and broad and all those things. And so like I can I'm glad that you like kind of opened up about it because it's one of those things where it's like sometimes I wonder because there's so much critique on what
Mm-hmm.
men are doing. Um and then on the flip side, there's also so much liberation as far as what
Yeah.
women are doing and what how women are just allowed to kind of be nowadays, even though
Mm-hmm.
they women still feel pressure probably internally that they're just not sharing.
Mm-hmm.
But like I think it's important to hear more men talk about how sometimes it's a struggle. Like
Facts.
this there's so many like expectations. And so like I think whereas I think women do a good job of doing it for each other, and
Mm-hmm.
providing a place where like come as you are, right? I think that
Yeah.
it's very much a come as you are kind of society right
Yeah.
now. I think that that same liberation, like if it's going to exist on our side, it also needs to exist on the opposite side of the
Yeah.
spectrum where more men need to just feel comfortable coming as they are and just figuring it out as they
Mm-hmm.
go because like to live up to the you have to have six figures and you have to drive this car and you have to do
Yeah.
this like I'm like damn like I don't have to do any of that shit like I'm
Right.
doing it because I want to but like
Yeah.
there's no added pressure so like I think it's good to hear that from somebody your age, just to hear like, okay, like it does kind of suck, and then it also makes me more cognizant of the pressure I could be putting on my dad or my brother
Mm-hmm.
or my boyfriend to be those things when it's like what I need to be is I need to be providing them space so
Yeah.
that they can at least feel like in this one arena of my life I can just come as I am and I don't have to be perfect because the world is kind of expecting that from you guys. So I think that
Yeah.
that's good to hear.
And trust me, men are. I'll speak for myself. I'm well
Mhm,
aware of the struggles that women go through as well.
mhm, mhm,
And there is support on the men's side as far as
mhm,
it's just other men,
mhm,
and we may not be singing kumbaya and holding each other and like, bro,
mhm,
it's gonna be. Here's some boxed wine and
mhm,
cheese. Like we
mhm,
made it, bro. Let's go to the gym and
mhm,
let's put some plates on here. And let's go to
mhm,
work.
mhm,
It's a different environment, but
mhm,
again, it's men.
mhm,
But as many videos of women I've watched, seeing the struggle of, all right, if men are telling us stop wearing so much makeup, but every other woman's wearing makeup, and I'm
mhm,
trying to blend in, I'm trying to look the part, and
mhm,
because I see what the rich men are choosing, and they're choosing somebody that looks natural and young, and they're
mhm,
20 years old, fresh out of the womb, and
mhm,
just they have all this beauty on them, and their skin
mhm,
is so smooth, and all these things. And I'm 35, and I'm trying to fight it. I'm 29 on the verge
mhm,
of the danger zone, and Kevin
mhm,
Samuels is coming for me, and Fresh and Fit's
mhm,
coming for me, and
mhm,
Tate's coming for me, and they're all trying to conform to what men say they want, but yet they
mhm,
see what men choose because
mhm.
men are pandering too. You
Yeah.
have the Derek Jacksons of the world that say, "Oh no, you're perfect. Nothing's your
Mhm,
fault.
mhm,
Every it's all men. You understand? It's
Mhm.
click the link, but it's all men. It's
Mhm.
these men are out here to get you, and so
Mhm.
listening to words, and women they tend to listen to words first before they observe the actions because
Yeah.
that's why women wear makeup because men are drawn to what we see and women are drawn to
Mhm.
what they hear typically.
Mhm.
And so a lot of men can get over and just, what's up, girl? You know, I love you, bro. I ain't trying to, I'm trying to raise your kids. You understand?
Mhm.
I heard you had some food stamps, bro.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
love you.
Mhm.
And it's just deception going back and forth. So there's
Mhm.
definitely pressure on both sides. And I try to be empathetic.
Mhm.
I try to be.
Mhm.
It's hard to because like when I see discrepancies and contradictions, I'm like, all right, come
Mhm.
on, bro. I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
gonna comfort you over no pretty privilege, but
Mhm.
I ain't got no pretty privilege. I ain't got no rich
Mhm.
privilege.
Yeah.
It's easier to be pretty than to be rich because y'all can just
Yeah.
put on makeup.
Mhm.
I got a credit card. I got to
Mhm.
pay that junk off. Like it's
Mhm.
different. It's a different
Exactly.
dynamic. So,
Exactly.
it's definitely interesting to hear about the different struggles. But
Mhm.
where I stop it at is the Olympics, where it becomes, well, I'm struggling more than you.
Yeah.
Women have it easier in dating. Men have it easier in dating. Like
Mhm.
there's disadvantages. That's why I have that video of male privilege, female privilege,
Mhm.
pretty privilege,
Mhm.
privilege.
Mhm.
Half the leagues are full of black people.
Mhm.
White people are not complaining. Why
Mhm.
can't I be in the NBA? Because you're 5'7", you can't jump high. That's
Mhm.
why a black guy who's 6'5" took your spot.
Mhm.
It's just, and it's normalized.
Yeah.
But then when there's not enough black coaches, well, yeah, because a bunch of 5'7" guys that couldn't play have been working their ass off to get a coaching position. It's
Fair. It's
just
very
it's
fair.
different. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, there's definitely pressure, and a lot of men won't come out and just admit, bro, I be losing sleep, bro. I'm trying to get my bag up. Like
Mhm.
I'm trying to. I still got needs. Like my
Mhm.
loins still need some work. But at the
Mhm.
same time, I still got to work a job, and I'm limited by
Mhm.
24 hours. I got
Mhm.
responsibilities. I made some mistakes back in my past. Now I
Mhm.
got children over here. I got baby mamas.
Mhm.
There's pressure everywhere,
Mhm.
and most men will rather just be that macho. I'll figure it out. I'll do it.
Mhm.
And I'm that same person too. I'm highly competitive at
Yeah.
times because it fluctuates for me. Like it takes energy to be motivated, so that means you
Mhm.
have to be consistent.
Mhm.
And so it's a nonstop cycle of trying to be self-aware, realizing, all right, in my own strength, I can't do it alone. I need help
Yeah.
sometimes. I
Mhm.
have to lean on some people sometimes, and sometimes just being around a feminine woman is enough to send me on my way for another month.
Mhm.
Just being around feminine energy. Oh, bro, she
Mhm.
smelled good, but she made me some dinner, but she kissed my forehead. She
Mhm.
gave me some work where I needed it, bro. And then
Mhm.
now I can go back and make 10 live streams and just
Mhm.
go off. So
Yeah.
it's complimentary. It's
Mhm.
complimentary.
Mhm.